Check that view out, my friends. This is where I usually come and hang out, watch the sunset. Maybe if you follow me on Instagram or you've seen on stories, I sometimes post a little sunset picture. This is where it happens. The sun doesn't set here now anymore. It sets all the way over there, so you can't really see it. But as April, May, June rolls around, the sun comes back over here and it creates this amazing little scenery. Anyways, today is officially daily check-in number 5, and today I wanted to share with you something that I started doing every day, sometimes several times a day. In September, I think it was on the 6th. So September 6th, I started meditating. Now, the reason I started meditating on September 6th was because I was in a hotel room in Atlanta. I was having a very hard time settling in. I was borderline having a panic attack, and it was due to the ringing in my left ear. I had this tinnitus, and I decided to just pull up some kind of meditation video and just do the meditation. I needed some kind of comfort. And after I did that meditation session, it became very clear to me that I needed to practice something that allowed me to slow down, become more aware of what is really happening, and ultimately gain perspective. Now, I had meditated several times before. This has been something that has existed in my life, but it's been more so like a Band-Aid. You know, you get a little cut, you put a little Band-Aid on. And that's kind of how I was doing it. I was feeling a little stressful. I need a little meditation. But when you start doing it as part of your routine and you make it a habit, you start to unlock these new doors that lead to new rooms and new places. And they're literally places that exist in your mind and beyond. Now, if you have a meditation practice, you know what I'm talking about. If you don't have a meditation practice, I would highly encourage you to maybe start one. And it does not have to be fancy at all. This can be something very simple. And I can give you an example of how I started meditating a long time ago when I was doing gymnastics. We had a sports psychologist, and she would run us through some visualization exercises which required meditation, which back then when I was 14, 15, 16, all I would do would be to crack up as she was talking to us. And I did not pay attention. But this is how it works. It's very simple. And you can do it right now if you're watching. You can take your hands, 2 hands like this, and all you have to do is to look at your hands. So just take a look at your hands. And if you just spend a few seconds there looking at your hands, you can start defining what it is you're seeing. For me, you're maybe seeing some calluses. I got a little cut on my finger. So you just start describing what it is that you're seeing. I see some lines. You can describe colors, tones, anything that may come up for you. Just describe that. And now, as you're looking at your hands, you can take another moment and now try to sense what you're seeing. Meaning, if you see a cut, see if you can feel the cut. If you see a line, see if you can feel the line. If you look at your hands, see if you can see and feel your hands at the same time. As you do that, you may have a moment where you feel almost like a little tingle. You can feel your heartbeat in your hands. And it's in that very moment where you feel what you see, where you are present in that very moment. And that right there is a state of meditation, a state of reflection, a state of being present in this very moment right now. And to be able to spend time in a state like that can be very powerful. The reason is because when one spends time in a state of meditation, one's consciousness expands, one's awareness expands, one's capacity expands. Now, why is it powerful for one's capacity to expand? Well, there are many reasons for this, but one of them is that it allows you to start trending from being reactive to being responsive. Reactive meaning that you are very quick to the punch. Responsive is something a little bit more gentle, a little bit more subtle. Someone who explains this in a way that I appreciate is the late Zig Ziglar, who would say that if you take medicine for an ailment, for example, and your body reacts to that medicine, that's probably not a good sign. You got an allergic reaction. But if your body responds to that medicine, then that means that you are making improvements. You are adapting to a healthier, more stable condition. So in meditation, what happens as you expand your awareness, it allows you to see things in a more responsive way. You can see a thought coming, you can see a feeling coming right behind it, and instead of jumping onto it and clinging with it, you can just let it pass by. And that can solve you a lot of problems in life, a lot of headaches. And I share this with you because it has completely transformed my life. And I am definitely no expert in meditation, but I do see the benefit of it and the power of it. And if I could encourage you to some degree to exercise, being in a state of reflection or meditation on a daily basis, even if it's just a few minutes, I would highly encourage you to do that, because it can elicit some great outcomes for you, very positive outcomes. Now, I've been going a little bit deeper than just being present, and I've been playing with a lot of different variations of meditation, and I've been learning a lot about myself. And a lot of the lessons that I've been learning are lessons that I knew I had to learn, because they're not new. these problems or thoughts have been in my mind since I can remember, since I was a kid. And the fact that I get to work on them now is such a beautiful opportunity. And now that I've been meditating for maybe 5 months consistently, it's starting to come back to me, meaning the ripples that I'm sending out through my new level of awareness and my actions are starting to come back to me. So I'm getting this deep sense that it is a responsibility, just as I talked about yesterday in the video or check-in. It's a responsibility that I currently have to start sharing some of this information. And I've been talking to a few teachers in the meditation yoga space, and I've been talking to people who have been doing this for a long time, and the information and understanding that I'm gaining is all starting to make sense, because it's tying back to everything that I've done up until this very moment. So talk about transferability of skills and how one can build a foundation and continue to build on top. It's an endless game. Anyways, that is me ranting now, or just rambling, but I think it's an important conversation. So if I would encourage you to do something on a daily basis, even if it's just a few minutes, and if you can do it first thing in the morning, as soon as you wake up, within the first 30 minutes, instead of grabbing your phone or going to get your cup of coffee, just take 3 minutes to maybe look at your hands and do the exercise that I showed you. Look at what you see, describe it, and then see if you can feel it. And in that moment, you will be fully present. And if you enjoy that, see if you can hang there for a little bit longer. If you need to close your eyes, close your eyes. If you need to breathe through it, breathe through it. Just give it a shot. And if you give that a shot for a few days in a row, I believe you're going to start noticing something. And whatever it is that you notice, that's exactly what you needed to notice in that moment to allow you to gain a greater state of awareness and be able to express who you truly are in this world in a higher, more effective, more efficient, more generous, more compassionate, more inclusive way. Anyways, so this is my little spot here in the Presidio, looking at the horizon. It's very beautiful. And today we have very clear skies, so I'm going to enjoy that. Thanks for listening to this check-in, this little longer check-in, and I will see you tomorrow. Peace.